Hello darlings, welcome to my channel, Authentic Beauty Handmade Dolls and Crafts. In this video, I am going to show you how to make a no-sew shirt for your Julian sock rag doll. Thank you so much for watching. In order to make this shirt, you're going to need some fabric quarters. I bought this fabric quarter from Walmart, I think for 97 cents or something like that, maybe even less expensive. And what I'm doing is I am going to fold it twice. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it into half again. So it's going to be four pieces together. And then I'm going to place my pattern for Julian's shirt on top of the folded fabric, and then I'm going to cut it out. This is, oh my God, this is such an easy no-sew shirt for your boy sock rag doll. I tell you, look at this, just watch this. So I'm taking it and I am placing it towards the folded edge on the fold, and I traced around it. And now I simply cut it out. Look at that, look at that. That is what I call easy breezy, right? And then I am cutting out the neck. You know, I think if I learned how to measure things, I think I could be fierce. I think my life would change. I think my life would change if I would measure something, but I'm just not into that. I just want things to, I don't know, I'm like a little kid. So once I cut it cut the pattern out, you see, I just cut straight down the middle, and look, see, oh my God, this is the shirt. And now I'm going to use my fabric fuse glue to just literally seal the edges together. I am trying it on first just to make sure that the shirt is going to fit my sock rag doll. And I am going to give him a collar, and I'm going to make sure that I fold the hem up so that it would have a nice polished look. And I'm also going to fold and seal the sleeve area, the bottom of the hem of the sleeves, also to make sure that it looks nice and polished. I am using the colors that I used in his pants, which is coming up in the next video, and just to, you know, make it look more uniform and, you know, like it looked like a little cute outfit. I remember when my kids were young, I'm not sure if they still exist now, but they were called Granimals or something like that, and you could like mix and match the little pants together, and it had like the little parts of the fabric that coordinated with the pants and the shirt. And I don't know, my son had a lot of those little Garanimals. I think they were called Garanimals or something like that, those little outfits, and I just thought they were adorable. So what I'm doing now is measuring the strips for his sleeves and for his collar. I bet a measuring tape would do wonders for me. It just seems like placing the sleeve next to the fabric just seemed a little willy-nilly. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, but when I'm doing it, I'm just thinking, I just want to finish. I don't know if it's that I want to finish, or it's just that I see something in my imagination and I just want to pull it out. And when I'm measuring, it just seems like it's slowing up the process. Now, you know, when I cook dinner, it drives my family insane because I want to put anything in the pot. Like, I feel like, what would happen if we add this? And my daughter, who majored in baking and culinary arts, her rules are like, you can't mix this. This would change the texture of the batter. I'm like, well, so what? Let's see what happens. For the holidays, I have served ducks and other things that have been bloody when everybody, because I don't know, like I just want to see how things work. I just want to see what happens. Like just recently, my daughter bought these little, I think these little brownies, you put them in a cup and they're already pre-mixing. You're supposed to add like 2 tablespoons of water, but I added pecans and what are you, not raisins, but cranberries. I love cranberries. I added a whole bunch of stuff to mine, and I added a little butter, milk. It was delicious. And my daughter kept saying, "Mom, you're gonna ruin it." Oh, so here's my fabric fuse. I love this stuff. I'm going to use it to place the little folded folded pieces on the hem of the sleeves to give it a nice, not just a polished look, but I want it to match his shorts. Now, what I love about the fabric fuse is that it dries clear and is extremely flexible. Now, I think there are other glues like E6000, and I love E6000 too. I think I have a name for it. I don't know is it called E6000? But anyway, I have like little special names for things that I'm in love with. But that's a very good glue too. But it has a really strong scent, and but it does dry clear. But I just like to use the fabric fuse glue on the fabric type mediums. So I'm just gently placing around the edges, and I'm going to fold it together. And you know, in this video, guys, do you know I had no idea how I was going to place this strip of fabric around the hem of the sleeve? I didn't. I'm thinking here to myself, now how am I going to add this so that it looks polished? So I said, you know what, I'll just go ahead and do the other side, and I'll figure it out at some point. While I'm watching this, I can't wait to see myself how I figured out how to attach this strip of fabric to the hem of his sleeve. So I see that what I finally figured out at some point was that I was going to fold the hem of the sleeve and then attach or glue on the strip of fabric on the inside of the folded hem, because I needed to fold the hem so that on the right side it would look polished. But if you can see in the video, it took me a second to figure that out, because when I started making the shirt, I saw it in my imagination. I decided that I wanted him to have a shirt, and I wanted to think of the fastest and easiest way to make that shirt. And this is the concept, and I think I probably got the idea from maybe a Greek, a Renaissance dress that I made about 5 years ago. I think they used like a tunic, and I saw the pattern for a tunic for like how to make a Renaissance gown or something, but it was this format. But I just decided to use the same format to make his shirt, but just, you know, cut it to a shirt size in terms of the bottom of the waist and the sleeve portion. Now, typically what I like to do is have an opportunity to make something off camera so I can work out my little bugs and my little kinks, so that when I am on camera and I'm recording, I can look like a professional. I can look like I planned it and I know exactly what I'm doing. But because I'm trying to finish this tutorial for Julian and Jules so I can move on to making other dolls and doing other videos, I decided, well, you know what, I am just going to go ahead and record this, because I don't want to make 2 shirts because I have no use for it. And I encourage you to, when you are making, I don't know, like, my son is like super smart, and he is into what do you call it, informational systems and accounting, and he knows how to do things in a very systematic way. So you guys, you see I am taking the sleeve and how I folded it up for the hem, because if you don't fold the hem up, it's not going to look polished on the opposite side. But my son is very, how do I say this? He thinks very logical. And so when he is creating something, he goes about it in a very step-by-step logical way of doing it. And when I do something, is very intuitive and whimsical and willy-nilly, and we always get the same results, especially about silly things. Like I was trying to figure out how to send a fax to send a picture to my copier to make it into a PDF file. So my son came up with a way to do it, and I was waiting for him to do it one day, but he wasn't able to do it because I think he was doing something with his daughter, and I figured it out by mistake on my own. And the way that I figured out how to do it, it really surprised him. He was like, "Mom, how did you figure this out?" I was like, "I have no idea." But that's how it is for me. When I figure things out, I usually, I don't know, like I don't like I don't like instructions. I don't like to read rules. Now I love to read like philosophy and metaphysics, anything about the soul, anything about spirituality. But if you tell me how to put together a dinner or a box or a toy, it just drives me insane. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, people. So in the video, I am using the same exact technique that I used for the sleeves. I'm using it to create a collar for the Julian the sock rag doll. So here is the piece of fabric that I measured, and now I am simply going to attach it to the little raw area at where the collar belongs, and it was pretty much all set. This is a pretty cute shirt in terms of adding the attachments. See? And I don't know. I think this is a really cute shirt, by the way. I might make something a little bit more elaborate later, but I just wanted his outfit to look like a wealthy kid. As a, there's nothing wrong with a hoodie and some gym shoes. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I just wanted his outfit. You know what I mean? You know how those little boys and they just look like their parents dressed them and they're not too hip about the outfit. But the other thing I want to do for Julian is I want to give him a haircut, but I'm afraid because once I ruin his hair, I'm not going to be able to take the yarn out. I saw this really cool video where this lady uses yarn for a little boy's hair and she cuts it into a really cute hairstyle. I want to do that, but at this point in the game, I really don't want to screw his hair up, so I'm just going to let him have a big afro. Now for Julian's collar on his shirt, what I am doing is I took the rectangle piece of fabric and I glued one at the bottom of one side to the neck portion of his shirt. I folded it in half and glued the other portion on the other side of the neck of his shirt. So the rim of his shirt is on the inside of the bottom of the rectangle for the collar. I hope that makes sense. And I am also folding in the edges of the collar, like just like the hem at the very end of the collar. I am gluing that in, gluing it in and folding it as well to make it look polished and neat. Now I started to use the same fabric to make some pockets on his shirt, to give him a little bit more of a nerdy look. But then I thought, I think it would be too much for, I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do you think I should have added pockets to add more color to his shirt? I am now using the fabric fuse glue to hem the bottom portion of his shirt. So remember, I have not sealed the shirt closed yet, so it still looks a little weird. But just make sure you hem the bottom, you know, in the front, the two sides in the front and the side in the back, which is what I'm doing in the video, before you start hemming, before you start gluing the shirt together. I try my best to slow this video down. This video is 2 times the speed, the actual speed, but on a typical video I am 4 times the speed, and I would have been able to get this video down to about 14 minutes or so or less. And one day my boyfriend, I was showing him a video and he said, Sandy, this is way too fast. He said, who can, get this? He said, my eyes, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'm thinking about the people who, like, I think YouTube was created for a younger community, or I think, that when I think of YouTube, I think of young people. And you know how young people like for things to go by really, really fast. And because I know that when I watch videos, half the time I don't know what is going on, and I have to go over it again and again because the person's going so fast. And people will make comments in the person's box like, why does your video take so long? Why didn't you go faster? This is too slow. But I keep forgetting that most people who make dolls are people who are middle-aged and above, like, beyond. Younger people tend to buy dolls, or they tend to remake like the Barbie dolls and the Monster High dolls. But it's mostly older people who are into cloth dolls, handmade dolls. So I said, you know what? Let me slow this down some more. Because what's the point of me doing this if, people are having a hard time following me? So I'm going to do my best. Even if the video is a little bit longer, I have to remember, no matter what I do, I'm not going to make everybody happy. So I need to make sure that I'm trying to focus on the people like myself. Like, I think, like me, I'm like in my, 50s, and I'm not into this whole new generation thing where you hurry through everything and you unlike, people give you a thumbs down. I would never give somebody a thumbs down. I just would click away. I would click away. But it's like this whole generation of being mean, and I'm just so not into this. But anyway, I hope this speed is okay for people who would be interested in making this shirt. I also folded the hems and the front of his shirt as well. The area that I cut, I made a hem, and I don't know if you call it a hem, but because I think a hem is at the bottom. But basically, the area that I cut in Julian's shirt, I folded a little tiny area, like maybe 1/4 of an inch, and I glued it down, and I added some Velcro so that he could, attach one side of the shirt to the other side. Now that I have folded all of the edges of Julian's doll shirt, I am going to now glue the shirt together. So as you can see in the video, I am gluing the sides of the shirt and under the arms on both sides, and he will have a nice little spiffy shirt. And for some reason, what I love about this fabric quarter is that it seems like it irons itself. I don't know if the glue is ironing the wrinkles out of the fabric, but it comes out really nice and crisp, just like a shirt straight out the cleaners. I am gluing the shirt together on the wrong side, and then I'm going to turn it inside out to the right side. Now I'm going to let Julian's shirt dry for about maybe a couple hours before I turn it inside out, because I don't want the seams to come apart. I am now using a sticky bag for fabrics, and I'm going to cut little small strips to put in the front of his shirt opening so that the Velcro will allow him to open and close his shirt. Now this stuff is really inexpensive and very, very easy to use. The most difficult part of using this Velcro was literally opening the package. If you can get the package open, you're good. I am now cutting little tiny strips for the opening portion of Julian's shirt, and they have like a little piece of paper, and you can just peel off the paper. There are two sides to using the Velcro. There's the side that has the little plastic where the little things are sticking out, and then the other side has like, it looks like I don't know, like those little sponges that, you know, like the I'm trying to describe the fabric portion, but it's two different portions. Most people have used Velcro, so I don't think I need to explain that. But you just want to line it up. And I can see that Julian's shirt is not as even as it could have been, but this is just 20/20 hindsight. But overall, I'm very, very happy with this quick and easy shirt. Now, while Julian's shirt was drying, I went ahead and made his no-sew doll pants, which I am going to upload for the next video. And then I think we're going to do his gym shoes, his sneakers. And then, thank goodness, we'll be finished with Julian and Jewel. And then I am going to do a little short video about their friendship, and they would join the Shaka dolls and all the other dolls in my little doll house. I don't know if I want to call it a doll house, but they will join their friends, and like I said, we'll probably see them at a doll party or some idea that I may get later. But yeah, this has been really fun. So you see how I'm trying to line it up so that it's even on both sides of the opening of his shirt. And that Velcro, it really works. I mean, it sticks onto the fabric. And what I like about this fabric quarters is that it's like I said before, it's kind of paper-like. It's a very thin, easy-going fabric. It wants to please you. You know what I mean? You know how sometimes you work with a fabric and it has its own mindset. No, this fabric is, so what do you want me to do, baby? Whatever you want me to do, that's what I'm going to do. It's very easy going. It, you know, like I said, the wrinkles just seem to have disappeared as I was making the shirt. It's the glue, the fabric fuse works with it really well. It's just such a pleasure to work with. I know there's a doll inside of you who is just dying to come to life, but only you can breathe life into her. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.